If you are new here, my name is James and I am the world's worst web developer, and I'm here with another video about, you guessed it, Etch WP. Do they call it Etch WP? I don't know. I think they just call it Etch. Anyways, it's a WordPress development environment. And if you have seen any of my videos before, you know what Etch is already. If you are new here, Etch is a new product. It's not even technically a product yet. It's not available to the general public. It is going to be very soon, I think. But a lot of people jumped in on the early bird sort of beta testing bandwagon. I'm one of those people. So I've been using it for the past couple months, and they're on version 0.39. And so I think that means they put out 39 updates. I'm assuming they started at 0.1. I don't remember where I was. I think I started at like 24. I think point 0.24 I think was the first version that I used. Today they just dropped 0.39, and that's what this video is about. We're going to talk about version 0.39. Two things in particular. Like many updates, I don't care about a lot of the stuff. I don't even know what some of the stuff is, but there's two particular things about this update that we're going to talk about in this video. Once again, I forgot to turn my light on. Not only am I the world's worst web developer, I'm also the world's worst YouTuber. So, okay, let's take a look at the update. This is the change log for this particular update. Can I zoom in? Of course not. When I zoom in, it gets smaller because reasons. But anyways, this is what we're looking at. So we got style sheet manager. That's one of the things we're going to talk about today. Save components without reload. That's the other thing we're going to talk about today. A lot of the other stuff, I don't know what this is referring to. I didn't notice any differences in dragging and dropping stuff. They did improve that quite a bit a couple updates ago. Improvements to class handling, I also don't know what that means. Dynamic data parsing. Fix saving issues on Lightspeed servers. I don't use Lightspeed, so that doesn't apply to me, but I'm glad that they took care of that because I know there are people out there. General stability improvements and fixed classes not rendering on elements and figures. I also had not seen that issue in the past. So, but I am actually pretty darn excited about the first two things. I think I'm mostly excited about the style sheet manager, but the components thing is cool too. So I'm just going to briefly show you those things in action so you can see what they're actually talking about. Wrong website. Here we go. So here's a page that I've just been sort of experimenting with. It is technically live. I mean, if you want to go look at it, knock yourself out. But it's very often broken because I'm using this mostly to test some things out. But it's using something called scroll behavior, which I want to talk about. So you notice how when I click on an option in that menu, it scrolls to that particular thing, and it's kind of a pretty smooth scrolling option, right? As opposed to if you don't have scroll behavior smooth on, it just jumps straight to the thing that you clicked on. And so I'll actually go ahead and disable it so you can see what I'm talking about. See that? That's not a good experience, just jumping straight to whatever you clicked on, right? So why am I talking about this? Well, until today's update, you couldn't add styles to the body or the HTML element because you can only add styles to things that have a class or an ID. And so you might have just seen it briefly here. I've been using this little PHP script to add this style to the body. Or actually I added it to HTML. Scroll behavior smooth. And it just hooks into the head. And I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it's just slightly annoying that I have to do this just to add a style to the HTML or the body. Well, now we don't have to do this anymore. So if we open up Etch and we go to our style manager, you'll notice it looks a little different. It doesn't look different because I forgot to update Etch on this particular website. Let's do that. Has it hit this yet? Yes, it has. Awesome. Okay, let's try again. Style manager, there we go. So we already had selectors and variables before, but now we have this third tab called style sheets. And watch this. Body, scroll behavior, smooth. Save. And let's see if it works. Oop, it did not work. Let's refresh. Come on, man. You're killing me. Okay, it's not working. I literally just tested this. And it was working before. Style sheets. Am I being cached? Come on now. Okay. Body, scroll behavior, smooth. Does it have to be on HTML? I thought I already tested this on another site. Maybe I didn't. Let's try this. Okay, that worked. This is why I'm the world's worst web developer. I don't know anything. I thought you could do scroll behavior on the body. Apparently you can't. It has to be on the HTML element. So I learned something today. You probably didn't learn that. You probably already knew that. But you can now see that the style sheet, global style sheet is working. So, oh yeah, I remember how I tested this earlier. All I did was that. I remember now. And it's gone. So yeah, definitely working. Definitely awesome. You can do, obviously you can do a bunch of other stuff here. You know, like maybe you have some resets or whatever. You just want to do, you know, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Maybe all your headings are font family of Inter. And maybe I do this correctly. And then maybe your paragraph and LI and I don't know, span and whatever. Maybe those are all Roboto, right? You can do all this now. I used to do this. I would add it to the main because in your template you can mess with the main tag. You can give the main element a class so then you can style it. But then of course that wouldn't apply to your header or your footer. So you'd have to do, you know, or you could do a similar thing I did before, you know, using a PHP script to enqueue stuff or to hook into the head or footer. You don't have to do any of that stuff now. You can just do it all here. And of course, if you're using something like automatic CSS, you don't have to do any of this stuff. You do all that in automatic CSS. But for the folks who are not using automatic CSS, this global style sheet is, I think, a game changer, and I'm very excited for it. The other thing that they did, and will be very brief. I kind of want to, I'm going to go back to the older version because I want to show you how this used to work, and then I'll show you how it works now. And I think you'll appreciate it. So I'm going to have to just upload the old version. Here it is. Do you remember when they added this little feature where where it does this? It used to just like fail. It'd be like, no, you can't do that. But now it's like, hey, do you want to replace it? It's been a long time, I know, but I remember the days when you didn't have this option. All right, so we got an old version installed. So let's launch Etch, and we'll launch our templates because we got a component here called header. Now, if I edit this component, let's see, I go in here, and branding and whatever, display block, and I save this. It takes you out of what you were just looking at. It like reloads the whole page, and it's very annoying. And so then if you have to go back, like, where was that? What was I doing? Oh, here it is. So let's show you how it works now. So much better. It seems like a small thing, but I'm telling you, it's one of those quality of life things that you don't really truly appreciate it, I think, until you get to experience it. All right, we'll relaunch Etch, go back into our template. Let's edit our header and find the thing that I did. What did I do? Was it an inner? Yeah. Now, if I delete this and I click save, watch this. Nothing. It's saved, but it didn't reload the page and get me out of where I was. So I could continue doing stuff. This is helpful if you're trying to iterate on something and you're making change after change after change. You know, you can do a little change, hit save, go, refresh, see how it looks. Okay, not quite what I want. Go back, do a little bit more. Before, every time you saved, it would reload the page and you have to go find where you were again. So this is big. This is a big deal. Huge quality of life improvement, and very excited and thankful to the team for listening to feedback, because I know there was a lot of people in the community who are in the private community who were talking about this issue, and they fixed it. So thanks for listening and caring about our experience. And I think that's it. That's it for this video. Those are the two things that I really wanted to talk about. I'll let you take a gander at this again. I think I'll probably start doing this more regularly every time they do an update. As long as there's at least one thing in the update that I care about and that I can visually show you, then I think I might start doing update videos more often. I'm not going to promise that I'll do one every single time they push an update, but you know, we'll play it by ear. All right, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.